Who said that they didn't want at least 300 horsepower? Well, if you said that, you're watching the wrong video. Go and hop back into your Toyota Prius because today I picked 5 cars that all have 300 horsepower, which are faster than most cars on the streets. Let's get started. 2008 Mercedes CLS 550. Do you want 382 horsepower? Do you want repair bills that you can't afford? Yes, please. If you want a Mercedes with serious balls, go ahead and grab the 4-door coupe. At least that's what Mercedes called it because they wanted to entwine the sportiness of a coupe all while keeping the luxurious and comfortable feel of a sedan. Nevertheless, it's still a sedan. This smooth, curvy, temporary sedan has a V8 with 382 horsepower and a 4.7 0 to 60. Mercedes did something right when they made this car. Mercedes paired this V8 with a 7-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters. So at idle, you're gonna feel like you're in a grandma car. But then you mash the pedal to the floor, start downshifting the paddle shifters, and you feel the exhilarating thrill of passing others without sweat. I mean, look at this car. 2008 Mercedes-Benz CLS 550. This is a sedan with 118,000 miles for $9,200. Pretty good price. Check out the front of the car. It's so sleek and looks like it's just never ending all the way back, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. This car is very well taken care of, very clean wheels. Once again, the front is still looking immaculate. The headlights look pretty awesome as well. The front fascia is still pretty modern looking. The contour on these lines, it makes the car look very contemporary and modern. The Mercedes-Benz wheels look pretty cool. Interior is pretty sleek, wood grain. Infotainment center seems to be on point. Only thing not on point is that steering wheel looks a bit bulky and kind of out of place on this amazing interior. Seats look very comfortable. Back seats are very nice. So what are the issues? The main issue for this car is an expensive one. The air suspension has issues. The pump relay may stick and cause the pump to continuously run and burn out. Aromatic may have a leak, so when lowering the suspension, it may take a lot longer than it should. And tire wear caused by worn front thrust link bushings. Not terrible issues, but there all still are issues, and expensive ones at that. 2008 Pontiac Grand Prix GXP. What, a Pontiac? Yes guys, calm down. It's a Pontiac. Now before you get your panties in a wad, I would say grab the G8, but the G8 is a lot more expensive than the GXP. And we're talking about cheap cars that have 300 horsepower. Now if you had extra money, go ahead and grab the G8, that's fantastic. But we're talking about cheaper cars with 300 horsepower. That's the GXP. If you have some good patience, you may be able to find the G8 under 10K. Be very patient, they won't come very often, and it might be above or close to 150,000 miles. The GXP is on the same platform as a Buick LaCrosse and the Chevy Impala, yet it has went through a more sportier route. It has much more stiffer suspension, more bolstering on the seats, and a louder exhaust. Although Pontiac lacks a lot in a whole bunch of areas, especially refinement, the GXP does have some impressive numbers. This car is fairly outdated, fairly ugly, yet it can still compete among others. Here's 08 Grand Prix. This is probably the cheapest car on my list because for only about $6,000 you get a car with 50,000 miles, which is pretty awesome. Like I said earlier, I mean some people may like it, but I don't like it. The look of this car is kind of frumpy looking and a little ugly. 50,000 miles. Looks to be taken care of very well, very clean interior and exterior so far. Wheels look like they have a lot of tread on it. Yep, looks pretty good. What are the issues? The transmission gets a bit jerky at times. Intake manifold gaskets may leak coolant, failed fuel pump, high pressure power steering hose can leak, power window motor may fail, and a few more smaller issues. The good news, the Pontiac is cheap to fix. 2008 BMW 550i. Hey, yes, it's a BMW. It's another German masterpiece that can take a safe but controversial assumption that the BMW is a bit more reliable than that Mercedes I just talked about. Now, BMWs are common cars, yet we don't see the 550 on the streets very often. Why? It's because the original owners bought the car for about $80,000 and they didn't want to lose all the money, so they're driving it back and forth to work because they know if they sell it, they're only making about $10,000. So they lost $70,000. They want to get their money's worth from the car. The 550i is the closest that you'll come to the BMW M5 screaming V10. Yet the 550i is much more practical and it gets max torque at lower RPMs compared to the V10. And it has less issues from the V10 as well. The 550i is a beautiful car with immaculate interior and exterior. So what's not to love?
08 BMW 550i, 110,000 miles for $5,500. Once again, a good price for a good amount of miles. Exterior looks really nice. The rear end, it looks pretty good as well. I think this is one of my more favorite back ends on these BMWs. Interior is very nice and taken care of, very clean and white. Little stain right there. I kind of like these shift knobs. And you can also find a manual if you looked. Infotainment system seems to be on point. Just another high-end car.
What are the issues? Overall, the V8s in this lineup has been pretty solid besides oil consumption. Fuel injectors going out, but that is more of a rarity, so be sure you keep them clean. However, the 535 has a lot of stalling issues due to the inline-6 engine that were all reported under the 550i for some odd reason. So don't be too worried if you see stalling issues on the 550i, just that there are false reports for the 550 and they were supposed to be on the 535. Stabilizer bar link going bad. As BMWs go, this is arguably one of the most reliable BMWs out there besides the E36. Now, I say this with a grain of salt, this isn't Toyota reliability. I know how y'all gonna be typing in the comment section saying it's not as reliable as Toyota, but it's a BMW, so don't expect Toyota reliability. 2005 Nissan 350Z. The sweet, sleek, on fleek 350Z. Guys, this fair lady is worth a look. And obviously it's hard not to put the 350Z in a list of cars with 300 horsepower. The 350Z is great in so many different setups, especially drifting. Now you can easily find a 350Z between $5,000 and $10,000. And if you're patient, you may be able to scrape a 370Z. Yes, this car comes with a 6-speed manual and it has enough oomph to push ahead back in the seats.
Here's the 03 Nissan 350Z. Now as you can tell, this person has put a lot of work on this car with only 86,000 miles for $5,500. You can for sure find a manual, but this is kind of flashy and I kind of like the color scheme. Exterior is looking pretty good, nice color. Wheels are pretty nice too. It's a manual, interior is looking alright. You can tell it's been sat on for a long time and the seats aren't taken care of pretty well, but it still looks alright. Not a bad looking car.
What are the issues? A crankshaft and camshaft recall, faulty damper causing ticking noises, engine may burn oil, be sure to keep an eye on the oil level, failing navigation unit, is old and out of date, so use Waze. 2008 Ford Mustang GT, America. Who doesn't want a flagship American car with enough power, capable of roasting those back tires and taking out a whole crowd? S197 baby. This Mustang still uses the same engine as the SN95, yet with some upgrade and modifications to make this engine output 200 horsepower instead of 260 horsepower. This Mustang has an old retro look to it, yet it doesn't look old and probably won't look old for a long time. These Mustangs are my least favorite Mustangs in regards to how they look. However, the power to price ratio is there and it's definitely worth it.
Here's the 08 Ford Mustang for $8,000 and only 86,000 miles and manual transmission. Now, as I said, I don't really favor the look of this Mustang, the front end at least, and the rear end. It looks kind of big and a little bit too bulky. Interior is looking pretty good. Back seats never been sat on like any typical Mustang. Manual transmission, pretty stock looking. Overall, not a terrible car, it just needs a nice cleaning.
What are the issues? Squeaking due to worn out tie rods while turning. Camshaft sensor magnet may fall out and damage the synchronizers, causing the crank time for the car to be a bit longer. Rough idle caused by EGR sensor sticking. That's all for today, guys. Don't forget to press that like button and subscribe. And if you have time, go ahead and press one of these videos popping up. This is Chris with Automotivate. Always appreciate one another. I'll see you next time.